Hello and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the RDA. This is your Manchester United vs Fulham match reaction. First things first, thank you, Paul Pogba. My God, what a way to win a game. What a way to win a game. That is goal of the season. That is goal of the season. That was ridiculous. So thank you, Paul Pogba. But yeah, if you are new to the channel, subscribe, smash a like, all that good stuff. We're going to get straight into it. Boys. What was a very cagey game, and another game where United failed to not give me heart attacks. I was stressed. Once again, I was stressed. The whole game, I was stressed. But then, Paul Pogba produces a piece of absolute magic. But yeah, what are your guys' initial thoughts on the game? Starting with Malot.
First of all, I just want to know, Clay, how did that goal make you feel? When it went in?
It actually very much frustrated me because Pogba had a shit game until then. I'm fuming. I'm actually fuming because of that.
Okay,
I want him out of the squad. He had a terrible game up until that point. That goal was utter magic, and I hate him for it.
I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to message Claire. Like, I'm gonna save it for the show. But I was just thinking.
I was also like, I'm not going to message you.
I was wondering. I just wonder how Clay's reacting to this goal.
I messaged my uncle because I know he doesn't like Paul Pogba as well, and then everyone is silent. Everyone who doesn't like Paul Pogba is silent. They didn't send me messages. They just didn't want to say anything.
He won us a game, but he was so bad, and he scored the magic goal.
And the thing is, this is the second time he's done it to put us on top of the log. But yeah, anyways.
Bruno needs to watch out. I'm just saying.
No, don't even.
Okay,
Don't even.
That's a violation. That's a violation. But I do think they're both very crucial if we were to win a league. They are the two wonderful schools.
Yeah, I know. Now he's on top of the wall right now. But we'll get there. Interesting game. It was a good watch. It wasn't bad. It wasn't the most exciting. It was
No, it was exciting. It was exciting. It was exciting. Heart attack.
It's pretty exciting. I guess bad starts. Bad 7 minutes, if you like, or so. 10 minutes.
We are the kings of bad starts. Be honest, guys.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I think we've gotten better at it, but it's always been a thing for us. Going all the way back to Van Gaal. Van Gaal would take like 25 minutes to start a game. It was horrible.
We're so starters, boys.
Yeah, but like we've moved so far, so much ahead from those days. We've improved so much, and I think we saw in this game today. Fulham started really well, like a house on fire. Like they moved the ball really well. They create chances. They were playing with wingbacks, if I'm not mistaken, and they were giving our centre backs some real trouble because they were catching our fullbacks out of position. That's dragging Maguire and Bailly out of position. And Bailly could handle it okay. I was just worried about Maguire, but it wasn't too bad, to be honest. And yeah, no, they started well. But like all these teams, when they try to play like this, I was sitting with my younger cousin. I told her, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, we'll be finished. We'll be done. Because they get tired and they start sinking. And on top of that, I feel like we started growing into the game. We were never really awful. Yes, I think for the first 25 minutes or so, there was nothing constructive, but there was still some good 1-2 play. There was still some chances we created here and there, and I think we even had more shots on target than them. So, yeah, they scored, and I think defensive lapse in concentration of defense, but I guess they deserve the goal up to there. But I think from that goal, moving forward, I think we were the better team. Second half, we came out, and I think we just dominated from get-go. We were just relentless. They kept sinking because that's what happens, when they can't play with intensity the whole game. It's impossible. I don't think any team does that. Even bigger teams, they'll have lapses. They'll periods of the game where they're really intense. The periods of the game where they slow down, and they just slowed down, really. They started sinking. We started dominating for maybe not the whole second half, but for most of the second half. And that brilliant goal for Paul Pogba was a touch of magic. But I do feel like we could have made more of our position. I think we could have scored more goals. We held the ball well, we created chances. But I think in the final third, we weren't amazing. And yeah, I think overall we played decently. Defensively, we were great towards the end because they did come back a little and they were under pressure. So I think overall it wasn't a straightforward game.
Yeah. Clay, what are your thoughts on the game?
I think I'm just gonna say I hit the nail on the head in the preview. But it was a good game. It was very entertaining, end to end. It looked like we actually struggled in a lot of sectors, just attacking wise. We very much struggled to get the ball to a Cavani, to a Mason, to a Martial, and when they got it, it just felt very unproductive. Our forward line had a lot of work that they didn't do well today, to say the least. Our midfield very much carried this game. Bruno, Pogba, Fred, all in fantastic form, and I think they were the difference. The midfield difference created the opportunities, very much opened up the game. It was Fred won back the ball, Bruno passed the ball. Great. Straight to Cavani. It was a goalkeeping assist again. And just the defense, a bit shaky, wasn't 100%. I could kind of see why Bai was left out the squad. He didn't look 100% still. I don't think he was fully fit today. Something was off for sure. And that nearly own goal was heart palpitations.
I honestly
Okay.
thought it was going in. What I thought was crazy was that.
This is counted as a block, you know. Let's just put a positive spin to it and be like, even when he's not focused, he still blocks things. That
You know
sounds
what?
much better.
I love Pai, and that too. But that one, I can't
Yeah.
defend that one. That was luck. But to be honest, I thought it was a great game, and I thought the only reason why Fulham were dangerous is because that counter attack that Fulham had today. My goodness, it was crazy. It felt like it's like when we play teams that allow us to counter. It's like, what are you guys doing? You asking to get hit. So
Yeah,
They're a
exactly.
good team.
I mean, he got hurt on a lot of occasions.
The way they play with their wing backs, it kind of remind me of Wolves, but even more adventurous with how they're on the ball. So yeah, I enjoyed watching them. I enjoyed watching Loftus-Cheek. I think he was their best player.
he was the best player, I
And
think, as well.
Just look, man. Come on,
Let's
guys.
play-
He scored the goal. Come
Yeah,
on.
man.
And a look, man. He's even on my bench fantasy.
Too bad.
But yeah, and as Clay said, I think our front line was. I think Cavani was better today, but I think
Well, it's first
Martial
goal, so.
and Greenwood were slacking a little because unlike most games, the ball was getting to them, but they weren't very
Yeah,
productive.
I actually thought Martial
But-
got a lot of chances today.
Yeah,
Half decent
and he
chances.
squandered
at
them.
least,
So
yeah.
that's the thing. He squandered them really badly. Like the dribbles are just off a little bit. He's also tired. He should have been rested in this game as well. Him and Rashid should have gotten the rest.
Yeah.
Because he didn't offer that much. It was worth it to just have a pace merchant in Dan James, in my opinion. This game.
Yeah, I said it.
Yeah.
I said, like, you could rest the
He's
team
not-
against Fulham and beat them. But
Exactly.
He's not doing himself justice with these numbers this season, to be completely honest.
Definitely not. He's
But-
not having a good season.
Yeah. But I just always. Okay, towards the end, I was nervous. I won't lie. Towards the end, I thought it was going to be a draw.
Hey,
Then
Ross.
those City fans were all over us saying, you're top of the tail for 2 seconds. Now we have it back. So, yeah, it was nerve-wracking. But after we went down 1-0, it wasn't. I think it was testament to our form. I just felt like we're going to come back.
me
I was
also.
confident
Me
that
also. I was like, nah,
the
this
form that
it
we're
ain't
playing
gonna
in
happen
right
like
now,
this.
we're going to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also felt the same.
But
And I usually don't feel like that. I'm like, it's the end of the world, we're losing, we're never coming back. But today I was like, you know what? Nah, we're coming back. And you know what the craziest thing is? When we had 1-1, I'm like, it's written in the stars. Because Paul Pogba has been so quiet, it's written in the stars for him to pull it out again. And I knew it. As soon as the goal went in, I was like, you know what?
Guys,
That's what it
I don't
is.
think Pogba was quiet.
He was quiet. Going forward today,
thought
he
Pogba
was
played well
quiet.
today, to be
No,
honest.
yeah, he
he
played
was
well.
poor.
Nah. Paul
Yeah,
Pogba
but
was
like
good
once
today.
again, he's not like he's playing in the 10. He's not like the main creator. I think he was doing enough.
Fred
And
did
I
it
think-
more than him. 10 times more in the same position. What's your argument?
I don't think so. I think you just
I
got a
don't know.
Pogba
I
agenda.
disagree.
Yeah, I think
I
you
Fred
got a
disagree.
was
Pogba
fantastic.
agenda. Fred was
Complete
great.
work,
He was.
won the ball
But
back.
He was.
I think Pogba did the
Slight
same.
in our goal.
And Pogba's
Aye.
goal was absolute. No one can do that.
I think
Okay,
Pogba-
but
no
goal.
one.
I'm
can
saying
do
take
that.
away the goaler.
Yeah, I would say
Besides the
same as
goal,
Fred.
what did he
Same
do?
as
I said,
Fred.
I would
say
say
same as
subpar
Fred.
performance.
Nah,
I
I'd
would
say
not
same
say
as
I
Brendan
think
Fred.
Fred
Pogba-
performance as a
he,
Fred.
he made some good tackles at the Fred.
He actually
Fred had a
had,
good game.
he
I
had
think
the
he
most
wasn't-
tackles, I think. Most successful tackles.
Yeah. The way Pogba screens the ball, I find very impressive, and he's been consistent about that. in the defensive areas. The way he drives box to box, I thought it was really good. And I thought he was more creative than Fred today. So I
No,
thought
he's
he
always
had a really good game.
he's always
Honestly.
creative. I mean, to be more creative than Fred is not hard. Put me in
Yeah,
that team, I'd
exactly.
be more creative than Fred.
And on top of that, he scored a goal.
Yeah, but no,
So I thought
that goal. Yeah. We'll get there, because we'll get into the player rating now. I think we basically summed up the game well. It was an entertaining game. Very cagey. I think there was somewhat of luck, but at the end of the day, what won us the game was just utter quality. Is what won us the game. That was quality. You just don't get that from anywhere else. That was just quality. But anyways, let's talk about the team ratings, because we'll talk about more about the game in general when we talk about the team ratings. Starting with David De Gea. To be honest, I think he's had a great performance today. I think it would be overlooked today because of the result, but there was two saves that were very key, that kept us in it. And I know that first goal, yeah, it was a bit. I don't know if you could say that was his fault. I don't think you could say he could have saved it. I think he could have saved it, but I still think he made two very big saves after that. So I'm actually gonna give David De Gea a 7. I don't know what you guys would think about that.
James there is back. Come on, De Gea is back. Like, it's game in, game out now. When was the last time this guy had a bad game? Like, a genuinely bad game? I don't remember. So I've been really impressed with David De Gea. And I don't know if it was the first or second save, the one he made with his feet. Like, that's what you need when you're challenging for a title.
That's what I want to say. I was talking about.
Yeah, because there'll always be, like, teams will always get chances. Just like Alisson, he's a proven title-winning goalkeeper. It's like Alisson over the weekend. We could have won that game with either Pogba or Bruno's chance, but he stepped up when the rest of the team wasn't performing. And that's what David De Gea did tonight. It's what he's been doing over the past few weeks, and I really appreciate that. He's turning up at the right time. So, now I have to agree with the 7.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's much else to add. I think he was just very vital part of the team. 7 as well.
So straight 7s.
Yeah.
Great. It's nice to see David De Gea
Jackpot.
getting that. Yeah, jackpot. Straight 7s. Like I said, it's nice to see that from David. I like seeing David back to his best. I think I think it actually also shows the importance of competition, because if you look at where we strengthened with like Tellez and Dean Henderson, you see how Shaw and De Gea picked up the game. So yeah, it's always great to see. Always great to see.
It's the goalkeeper approach.
And yeah, I'll never forget. I told you guys that story, and ever since I told that story, madness. But I'm not gonna take credit for it. Yeah, I'm not gonna take credit for it. There's some guy on Twitter, I don't even know, can't even remember where I read it, but I do remember this. If you know, you know. But anyways, moving forward to guys, this man, Luke Shaw. I was gonna rest him today. Definitely in my books he would have never played today, but he played. And all I'm gonna say is it's a classic Luke Shaw performance. So 7 for me as well. It's classic Luke Shaw performance. Going forward, great. He gets robbed of assists. You know how many assists Luke Shaw should have? And he gets robbed blatantly of an assist. Every time he puts in great crosses and no one finishes them. It's a violation. It's actually a violation. Defensively, he was very good. I thought, he gave it his all. Would I have played him today? No. But it's classic Luke Shaw performance. So yeah, 7.
I'm happy he played today, because given how the game went, given how Lookman and Loftus-Cheek were playing, Taylor sort of drank us in the game. So I'm really happy he played. And he's been consistent. Best defender this season. I don't care what anyone says. For us. Not in general, before people bite my head off. And
Best defender in the
really
league.
good.
Never seen a better one.
Best left back in the league, can tell you now.
Yeah, he's not far off.
Second.
He's not far off, I'll say.
Sorry.
For me, number 1.
Yeah.
This man just gets violated with an assist. I'm telling you. I wish he was in all the other teams. I wish he was in the City team. I wish he was in the Liverpool team. Then, when he gets 10 assists this season, then you'll see.
Yeah. When he starts getting that, we'll see.
Clearly, Sheeny has never watched a Liverpool game. So
Nah,
yeah.
Robbo's third.
It is.
He's the third best left back in the league.
Yeah.
Too drunk. I don't know what you're on today, but let's move on.
Lack of one
voice.
voice.
Yeah, it's a lack of more stuff. Yeah, it's long day.
And I liked it about him, I think it's been a trait with him. He doesn't. He won't get bullied easily. He can carry the ball into the midfield. He can carry it up front, play the 1-2s. The only maybe bad thing, which was more Martial's fault, not him. I thought the exchange between him and Martial wasn't as amazing as it is with him and Rashford. But I guess that's just because they play more together often. And of course, defensively, then didn't have much on that side. So yeah, I think he deserves a 7.
Going for a straight jackpot again.
Weird enough, yeah, we
There we
are.
go.
It was just a really good Luke Shaw performance. I think if we kept a clean sheet, he probably gets an 8 today.
Yeah, I'll give
That's
him
good.
8 for a clean sheet.
Yeah.
Anything else to add?
So you guys covered it all, which was great.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Harry Maguire. Nah, you know what? The 10s, it's run out. It's 2 back-to-back, and it's run. That's it. Your luck is run out. It's run out. You're back to missing headers. You're back to not doing much. You're getting carried by Bailly. Yeah, boy, you are suspect today. And to be honest, I'm not going to slate you that much. I think all 3 of you guys had a big part to play in that goal we conceded. I think you guys were at the most fault, with the line, the lack of communication, the lack of tracking the striker. So Harry, you should have had a goal. I don't know how many chances you need to get a goal. If Van Dijk gets your chances, boy, he's going to be top goal scorer of the season. That's what I'm saying. But anyways, I'm giving Maguire a 6.
Yeah, Maguire might as well just stay back. Maybe he'll help us on counters, really, because man can't score headers. He just can't.
Yeah.
So it's a shame, because I don't know. He was good at Leicester, or at least it seemed like it. But here in the stats, it seems like it was just an illusion. It really wasn't what it seemed to be. But I think he had an okay game. Not too bad. His height was needed from time to time, which is always a great thing. And yeah, he wasn't. I don't think we've had a proper Maguire horrible performance. I think that we'll all be fuming because he probably would have cost us a goal or something. So I think he did what he had to do. He was partly at fault. I think it was more Bailly, but I think it was partly at fault for that goal.
I think Bailly and
he could have.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, he was actually doing something. He was actually marking a player or getting tied to a play. Bailly was a victim of something Maguire does a lot in marking A. But I think he had a decent game. So I'm going to agree with the 6.
Oh, so jackpot again?
Yes, I'm sorry. But yeah, Maguire, that's just bang average performance from him. He had that one burst forward where he looked really good. He kept winning the ball back as soon as it was loose. It looked really good. Looked solid going forward. Again, Svankon hit a header straight to save his life. He did it once in the FA Cup, and that was our money's worth. That was our money's worth.
Yeah,
that was it.
That was a goal. That was a goal.
He's gone on against Chelsea as well last season.
Bro, it's like 1 a year, fam. Look how many chances this guy gets. It's like 1 a week he gets. Fam, just put it in. It's not that hard.
Just he's always suspect. We always know to question Maguire a little bit, and just that goal, I can't really blame anyone in the backline for that. It's just it was a little bit off. Yeah, it was a good goal, good finish. Nothing to really critique the backline for. So it was just an average performance from Maguire.
Yeah.
The thing is, he needs to shoot more from outside the box because we saw against Trendy what he's got. Expecting the wrong thing from him.
I'd rather Fred shoot more. I'd rather Bailly shoot more. Like
Yeah, I'd rather have anyone else shoot more. But anyways.
Fred can really shoot. Fred can really shoot in training.
Yeah,
I'll let the hair take a free kick ahead of that. Thanks, boys.
That's very true. But yeah, anyways, so far we're in agreement, boys. Could this be the first ever? No, actually, I'm lying. It's
probably not.
Yeah, it's not going to go on for much longer. It's not going to go
There's
on
one player that's definitely not.
I was just thinking of like, no, it could. Nope, one player. But anyways, we'll keep it consistent. To that player. Eric Bailly, I thought same thing can be said. I thought it wasn't the best Eric Bailly ever. I did think, again, he was partially to blame because of the goal. I do love Eric Bailly. I think he's our best centre-back. The pace, the blocks, very fortunate. Lucky boy, it wasn't an own goal today, but, it would have been hella unfortunate if that was an own goal. Because, what can you do? You're literally just standing there marking and then it just bounces off you. So, lucky anyways. But your pace is I think today, the way freaking Fulham played on the counter-attack, we needed your pace. And, yeah, solid. Again, solid. I don't think you were that great, but I'm going to give you average 6 as well.
Like, I feel like he's set a very high standard in last. and maybe we're expecting that from him. But the thing is, yes, I think today wasn't great. It could have been better, but I do think he has set a very high standard. We expect him to be making all the tackles perfectly, to getting tight to all the players, and he just wasn't doing that today. Like
No.
that edge was just lost today. Don't know what it is. Hopefully, it's something he'll get over. And I think the goal was his fault. I think he should have been marking that man, and he just that moment just sums up his whole game. Just a lapse in concentration. So I think, yeah, 6.
Yo. Here we go, boys.
Just right.
Yes. Guys, we're winning a lot.
Oh
today.
my God.
You guys, we're winning a lot. Today.
Boys, we clearly don't disagree today, which is very weird. 5 is just average, yeah. Nothing
Yeah,
special,
it was
nothing
average.
hectically bad. If you scored that own goal, you'd be getting a 2.
Yo,
That
I'll
was
be getting a
terrible.
0.
If
I'm
you
gonna
didn't,
fuck.
it was a block. It was a block, boys.
Yeah,
You
it's
good?
a block.
It was a 6. He did his job today, and nothing too bad. Yeah, it was a good block. It's a good block.
Yeah. No, I think arguably, I think it might change. I think it might change. I think this might be the first one. We're not consistent because Aaron Bissaka today. Oh goodness! Sass. Man was giving away the ball. Man putting pointless crosses in. It just didn't look like he was playing today, Aaron Bissaka. It looked like he was dizzy. I was begging for him to get subbed off. And honestly, by the first judge, when I seen us concede that goal, I was like, Aaron Bissaka's fault. Aaron Bissaka's fault. I don't know why he's there. It's clearly a miscommunication and everything. But I think it's slightly below average for me. I think he was our worst defender today, so I'm gonna give him a 5.
Yeah, no, defensively, yeah, I don't know. I just didn't see him much, and as you say, he kept the ball a lot. But I think offensively, no end product, but I feel like he was involved in the interplay a lot, and he gave a shift. That's all I'll say. So, ish.
Come
The
on.
thing is, he was worse than
Come on.
Bai.
Come on.
He was worse
Come
than
on.
Bai. So I have to give him a 5.
Yes! Come on.
The worst part is that I love Aaron. I love him very much.
I also love him. I'll take him. He's my right back, no matter what.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it was a lapse in judgment for that goal. He was just a little bit too far forward. Well, back, sorry. He was a little bit too far back. Yeah. Don't know why. But yeah, he just was. There was nothing for him to do there. I don't know why he was in that position. And just that lapse in judgment just... it very much put us under a lot of pressure, unnecessary pressure at that. Going 1-0 down within 10 minutes is never fun.
Nope.
And then again, I like that he was going forward a lot. His interplay was great. I think he looked really promising, looked like he was going to get that assist. But again, like you said, those crosses just end up being wasteful to an extent. It's just kind of asking for that one person to stand tall and just head it in, and it just never quite gets there. And it's very frustrating to watch, and you can see he's a bit frustrated with his lack of assists as well. I just feel like, I don't know why our fullbacks are actually whipping in balls. I don't know why we do it. It's a waste of time and space.
Oh, our place.
Yeah, we can go complain about that later, but it's fine. Just a 5. Subpar.
5.
Yeah.
Yes! This is love. I'm having a great time. Look at this. Look at that.
This never
That
happens.
is amazing. That's amazing. That never happens. I don't think that ever happens. That is amazing. Let's see how long it goes. Because
I think it's about to go downhill.
well, we'll see. We'll start with Fred. I thought again, same like Luke Shaw. Classic Fred performance. Pressing amazing. Intensity amazing. Tenacity amazing. Tackling amazing. Passing shite. Absolute shite. But yeah, I think classic Fred performance, and I'm glad this is my midfield. I love this midfield. I would love to see more of it, and I'm glad they did well today. So I'm gonna give Fred a 7. Classic Fred performance.
Man took us to church. Church was in session today. And I think he played really well. I'll just get the negative out of the way. He's no Matic. And in the system, one could say we need a Matic. He's not the kind of guy who's just going to sit there and just protect Maguire and Bailly and drop back when needs be. Which maybe could have helped us with it becoming 3 when just to try combat the fullback play from the the wingback play from Fulham. And but besides that, I thought he was really great. I think tackling, okay, not horrible, it was okay. But I think his work was more. It was. I thought the passing was okay. I thought he kept it moving. It was a bit faster than Matic. Yes, Matic slowing it down sometimes can be a good thing, but then there's some games where you wanted to move, wanted to keep going, and I thought he was important and influential in that. The pressing, I thought the pressing was really
Chris
good.
is great.
He was just making people uncomfortable. He was energetic, tenacious as he always is, and that goal, he pressed, he got the ball back, sick interplay with Bruno, and I know Bruno passed the ball, but then without him, there's
Yeah,
no-
without Fred, it doesn't
So
happen.
yeah, so I'm gonna give him an 8.
Ah,
I didn't mean to.
damn. Well,
Yeah.
it's fun on the last bit.
I'm sorry. Because in my head, Fred gets a 7. I think it was just a really good Fred performance, and I'm not upset with the 8. I definitely think that's fair as
I'm
well.
upset with it.
I think an 8 could
Get a
definitely
roll.
be given. Because really, that goal was nothing without Fred's tackle. That tackle was really good, and it just ended in the right place at the right time. So it was really good, but it was a bit lucky. So I can't exactly give him full credit and say, yes, Fred! He was basically the assist there. You can't really go that far, but I think it was still really good and very vital. So definitely good performance from him all around.
Yeah, I think so as well. I'm gonna leave
Yeah.
that guy for last. Bruno Fernandes.
Sure.
I'm leaving him for last. He's the icing on the cake.
He's a big differential.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But Bruno Fernandes, I know. Okay, he got an assist. Technically he got an assist because of FPL. He got an assist. Whether or not you think it's an assist or not, I leave it up to you. But I'm gonna give it to him. I'm gonna give it to him as an assist. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to him as an assist. So I think he got an assist.
The ball in like it did.
Yeah, I agree.
Keeper doesn't fumble. Cavani doesn't score.
Yep.
You know.
And I think this is the thing though. Bruno, I know he hasn't had the games he's had for the last maybe 2-3 games. But today was a great performance. I think he should have had at least a goal. The one that hit the post was very unfortunate. You had a one-on-one header which was offside, which you should have put away, but it was offside anyways. You should have had 2 assists, I thought, as well. But as a number 10 today, he still got an assist. So as a number 10 today, he was great. So I'm gonna actually give Bruno. Yeah, I'll give him a 7. Go on there.
Yeah, no, I thought today was better. Last weekend, step back into the form that we're used to. Not there yet, but it was a step forward. And yeah, he was very involved. He was very creative. Obviously, he still lost the ball here and there, the outrageous shot here and there, but that's brutal. And yeah, I really enjoyed his performance today. And great assists. That's sad that wasn't a goal because it was a brilliant shot.
Ish.
So I'm gonna agree with the 7.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm gonna live up Bruno's ass a little bit.
Oh my god.
I just thought he was really good today. I thought he put in a proper performance as a number 10 again. It was a Bruno-esque performance where he should have gotten a lot more on paper. If he didn't get that assist, I'd be giving him a 7 with you. Since that assist has been given, he goes up to an 8 in my books. It was just a really good performance. He challenged the keeper a lot. He made Areola work hard. And some of those shots were a bit outrageous. I'm just like, yeah, I don't expect it to go in. But I'd rather see the keeper working than us passing around just waiting for
Bruno's
Mason
job,
to somehow slide
That's the
a
thing,
foot
yeah.
in, you
It's
know.
Bruno's job.
I'd rather us challenge the keeper and get those chances. Because Bruno's shot also led to his assist, ultimately.
Yeah.
Yes.
The post and
That whole play.
Yeah. Started from
That
the
was
shot. Yeah, started from.
Yeah. Start from the shot to Fred, back to Bruno, assist, goal.
When one of our was coaching us, we really need a Bruno.
Yeah, we needed a Bruno. Yeah. Hey,
Everything was sides. So
There's just
yeah, no,
passing around
he's
the
a
box.
breath of fresh air.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think Bruno. I wouldn't even say he's back because he never left. It's just Bruno Fernandes.
Exactly.
You know. So yeah, I mean in a way it's consistent because 7-8-7, 7-7-8. You know, clearly it's the same thing, right? Martial. Let me not be tough.
When you said last, you meant. When you said last, you meant.
No, yeah,
last,
I meant
thought
it's
you
going
meant the
last.
in-
No, I meant Pogba is going last. Martial, he had a lot of chances. I'm glad Martial had a lot of chances. And I actually like it. I know he didn't make any use of the chances he got today. But I actually like the fact that he got chances. Everyone knows I am a sucker for crossing into the box. It is my favorite goal. If you can cross it and you tap it in and you put your head and you score a volley, bicycle, I don't care how you score it from across, that's it. The textbook showing. Textbook showing. But other than that, I'll be honest with you, I thought it was just average. So I'm giving him 6. I wouldn't have played him today. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have played him today.
Yeah, no. I was missing Rashford. Can you believe it?
I was
kidding.
when I seen him come on, I was glad. Nope.
Sorry, I got distracted by something. I'm gonna bring it up. I wasn't gonna bring it up. Remember what I said?
Pogba shit performance. That's what I'm gonna say. Distracted Pogba shit performance.
Remember what I said? What's his name again? Rashford playing on the right is adding to his offside thing, and they use that more often. And I was just talking about my ass. But if you watch, what is it? The analysis show with Michael Owen, Townsend, and who was it? I'm forgetting the other guy. Michael Owen actually analyzed it, and he gave a reason why he feels like that. So, you know, if you agreed with me, anyone who's watching, I think you should watch that show. Just thought I should put that out there. Okay. But Martial today, that was tough, man.
Yes.
I think he's offered a little, you know. He was offered today. It just didn't seem on it. Communication with Shaw was a bit off. Some off passes here and there, and the dribbling is always great, you know. The dribbling was cool, but everything else just seemed very average. Man needs to, I don't know, does he need to work on his finishing? Because sometimes he will hit some other finish and it's amazing. But then the simple ones. So this guy can be a very divisive character, but bottom line is he needs to score more. He really does, and he's struggling on that front, which is a problem for us because we need him to score goals. So I agree with the 6.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Martial just has just to get out of his ruts properly, and he just hasn't ever pushed over it. It's like he scores a goal and then he just goes like 3 games drafted. And it's like, why are you doing this? Why?
To be honest, I don't blame Tony that much because he's playing out of position. He is. I mean, I don't mind him at left wing, but he's not a striker.
Yeah, exactly. But when he has played striker, he's also not exactly been on fire, sadly. Yeah. And Cavani has been, unfortunately. Cavani's got more goals this season so far, I think. I'm pretty sure.
No, yeah, he definitely probably does.
Yeah, I think Cavani's on 3 and Martial's on like 2 in the league. Something like that.
Makes sense. Maybe
but yeah. Yeah, it could be even more. It could be very wrong.
For me,
but yeah.
the thing is we didn't get Sancho, but like if we've gotten Sancho and we have that player who can score goals from the right and Rashford can score from the left, I'm good with him doing what he does because he'll score from time to time and he gives a good shift in terms of goals as well. So yeah, but the thing is we don't have those players right now, so
we just don't score tap-ins. I think that's the bottom line as well. We just don't ever score tap-ins. I want more tap-ins in my team. I want to score tap-ins every week. 2 of them. Minimum.
Yeah.
True, but like he doesn't help the situation as well because he's not in the box a lot, you know.
But I think that's the tactics. So, I don't think it's just him doing his own thing.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I don't know.
No, because Cavani does the same thing as well.
Not today, not that much today.
No, Cavani went on the right, he went on the left. Cavani whipped in a cross. Cavani dropped in deep, made a tackle. I think Cavani still does the same thing. Yeah.
I think Cavani will drift in the front line, but Martial, I've seen Martial in the 6, to be honest. So Martial is extreme in terms of his drifting. So, yeah, I just think Cavani spends a lot more time in the 18 area, and I don't want to say Martial learn from that because his hold-up is something that makes him special, and I don't want him to lose that, really.
Yeah, but I don't think Cavani's a bad role model in the slightest. Cavani does the hold-up. It's what people have been praising Cavani for. And his finishing's lethal. He's got the positioning. I'd rather Martial learn.
I'd say Cavani this season is probably like Martial last season. It's just Cavani's in form and Martial isn't in form.
Exactly, and that's who I
Yeah.
want up front at the end of the day. I want the informed striker. I would take Mason Greenwood ahead of any of them if he was in form right now.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
would take Marcus Rashford if he was in form ahead of any of them. That's just what I want. I want us to be scoring goals.
I
I want
get
us to be
you.
creating. I want us to be putting a shift up front. And Marshall isn't doing
Yeah.
that right now.
I get you. The only thing I was saying is that I don't want him to
Mm.
completely lose the whole game. That's the only point I was trying to make because I feel
Yeah.
like it's an asset. It really is because we play better when he's on the pitch.
Yeah, I definitely think we can, but I don't think we've quite gone back to that form of Martial doing everything and pulling all the strings and luring defenders and opening spaces for underlaps and overlaps. It just doesn't seem to be working as well, and just he's in a rut, and it's just a very average performance from him. Something more to say, so you can just give him 6.
Yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic. Thing is, I'm gonna say this now because
Mm.
I've never played as on the level as these guys, but I'm a striker myself, and to be honest, when I'm in this period, the only thing I'm praying for is tap-ins. I need 2 tap-ins back-to-back weeks, and then I get the confidence back. Everything goes back to normal. But like I said, United don't do that, so hey, yeah, it's late. It's late. If you're out of form and you're a striker at United, it's late for you. It is late for you. You're not getting nothing. In fact, you're probably gonna have to do it yourself. So yeah, it's just late
Yeah.
in general. But speaking of striker in form, Cavani, I don't have no agenda. I obviously just take the first when I can, but I have no agendas against Cavani. I thought he was great. I thought, yeah, the goal was a classic Cavani goal. I thought he was everywhere today. Yeah, I thought, yeah, solid performance for Cavani. There's nothing. It was a Martial from last season performance. I'm gonna give Cavani a 7.
It's weird because sometimes I feel like he gets a bit isolated, and then sometimes I feel like his movement is so good that he gets himself on the ball, and I don't know. I don't know whose fault when he is isolated. I don't know whose fault is it the team not giving the ball to him, or does he have to Shema maybe like he did today and just try get himself into better positions, which everybody raves about and says he's, as Michael Owen would say, he's the best in the world at doing. So yeah, but for today, I think he was really good. I think his movement was really good. I think he got on the ball, not just the goal, but whenever he got on the ball, he was actually pretty productive. And yeah, it was a classic striker goal. Just be in the position, as Michael Owen said again. I've been listening to a lot of Michael Owen. Be in the position
I hate
that you
Michael
think the
Owen.
ball is going to land, and that's what he does. And he was there, and he scored a good goal,
So,
good striker goal.
so what you give him?
Oh yeah, rating. I forgot the rating. What the heck? I'm gonna give him a 7.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Cavani just had a good performance today. Nothing to really complain about. It's just tactic-wise that I always disagree with. It's like, why is he always drifting so far? Like when he came all the way back to like the threat
Hey,
position and made a
no.
tackle, and it was like, why?
It's just the
Why are
tactics.
you
I think it's
there?
just the tactics of
Yeah.
United.
Like it's things like that that I'm just like, why? Why is Cavani putting in the shift defensively? Just tell me why. It doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, besides that, I think he just had a good performance. He did everything that was asked of him, scored a goal. It was a good performance from him. So yeah, a 7.
Yes. Look at that. It's
A
getting
bit
there
dreamy.
again, boys.
It's getting a bit
there.
dreamy.
It's getting there again, boys. Look at that. But look how consistent these ratings are. Everything is arguably been consistent. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Proper consistent. That's why the next 2 though, hey, boys, I don't know. I don't know about the consistency in the next 2. Cause I seen people slating Mason today, and I'm like, bros. I understand the man didn't get a goal. He's not really involved in the game, but when you did play, he wasn't bad. What do you expect from a 19-year-old who's freaking still learning? I mean, did he give the ball away a lot? No. Did he look threatening when he was on the ball? I thought so. I do think he definitely does need to learn how to be a bit more creative on the right wing if he's going to play there. I think he desperately needs a goal. Mason Greenwood, I think Mason Greenwood, unlike Martial, if Mason Greenwood gets a goal, I think it's game over. I think it's game over because I do think Mason Greenwood is just that different caliber. So, don't be harsh on the guy. I don't understand why everyone's saying Mason Greenwood out. Don't ever play Mason Greenwood. Sell him. No. This is the future striker of Manchester United. So yeah, I'm gonna go easy on the kid. So I'm gonna give him an average 6. I thought just like Martial, it was average for him.
Look, the only good thing I saw today is the interplay from time to time. But it's the same thing over and over again. Like it's not working, Mason. Do something different. He gets the ball and it's the step overs, a little bit of the cool movement, but it gets nowhere. It gets absolutely nowhere. Or it's the impossible shot that just never comes off. Nowadays, and he needs to cross more. Like there's so many
If
opportunities
he's
where he
gonna
gets the
play
ball
right
and he can
winger,
cross.
if he's gonna be a striker,
But
I have no problem with him not crossing.
yeah,
Mm.
then he should play striker.
You
If he wants
should.
to play striker. He should tell Ole.
That's why I don't blame Mason. I'm blaming Oli. I'm blaming everyone else except for my son. I will never blame Mason. I'll never. This guy's a star. This guy's a star.
Cavani and Mason switching the role could be a much better balance than Martial and Cavani sleeping on it. So I don't know, but I do think he does need to cross more because it's a problem. Like there's so
But,
many
yeah.
opportunities I saw where he could have crossed, but he wants to take on the player or just shoot from a position. So I had it. I'm not gonna go easy on him. I'm gonna give him a 5.
Wow.
So sad to say, I do think Mason had a poor performance today. So it wasn't going to happen anyway.
Wow.
To say. But yeah, I think Mason just has a lot to learn, especially if he's going to be playing on that right-hand side. As much as we can say he's a striker, if he's not being played there, there's not much he can exactly do except give his best in that position at this point. And if he's not giving his best in the position, then I think we need to criticize it. I don't think we should sell him next window. I don't think we go Mason Greenwood, up for sale, 10 million, buy, get him off our hands. He's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Will never be anything.
Cry.
I'd also cry.
I'm far from
cry.
that. But I think he has a lot of potential. I'm in the same boat as you. I think he's going to be something fantastic one day. But right now, him playing on the right wing, he's trying to play an inside forward role that we're not exactly equipped to do, especially against a low block team. It's not going to work going up against 3 defenders that are all out to block your shot and tackle the ball off of you. It's not going to work as a 19-year-old. So I think he needs to acquire a new skill set. He needs to get a better mentality. As long as he's playing wide right, as long
I
as he's
think his
playing in that
mentality
position.
is shot. I think
He
his
has a lot to
mentality is absolutely
Yeah.
shot. I think his best friend passing away, his freaking whatever, his love life problems,
He's had a
the
terrible
press,
year.
his form,
Last year, terrible last year, and
his
yeah,
form,
it was
I
terrible.
think,
Yeah. So again, if you're having problems, you can see it on the training field already, though. So why are you picking him? That's
But
always
to
going to
be
be
fair
the
to
thing.
Ollie, I would pick him today. But I would probably handle it a little bit differently. But yeah, I
Yeah.
would have definitely played Mason today.
I would have played him today as well. But again, if you've seen him in the training ground going, this guy's in a slump, do you really think playing him against a low block team, which you probably won't score against, is the best thing for his confidence? Especially out of position. I think that's just a bit...
Well, we wouldn't know.
It's expecting a bit much from him. That's all I'm saying. It's expecting too much from him.
I just realized how Ole fussed about picking Lingard when he was going to see problems for his own.
Yeah, exactly.
Picked him every week. But now the problems are over. He's okay. He's not been picked at all.
Yeah.
It's just a bit fun.
Well, the Lingard situation, I would have preferred to see him. Because an actual winger, an actual winger coming into this team. Mason's in a slump, Martial's in a slump. Let's get actual wingers in here that can just cross the ball, even slightly, just so a 5 for me for Mason.
That seemed like Ole has written them all for something like that.
Yeah, something's up there.
But
We'll
Mason
see.
will be
Time will
back.
tell.
I have no doubt
Definitely.
about it. Mason will be back. As soon as that ball goes from his left foot top left, and I'll be like, yeah.
Exactly. And looking forward to that day. But for now, he needs to do a little bit more.
Mulatori smiled. This guy's smiled. Look at this guy. Smile.
Yeah, he's got a wide grin. I'm the one that shared the wide grin. I'm the one actually smiling.
I want to smile. Because I would like to. This is it. This is what it came down to. First of all, my man of the match, obviously. By far my man of the match. Defensively, I thought he was great. He doesn't do stupid things anymore. I thought offensively he was very quiet up until that goal. But like I said, I had a feeling inside my gut that he was going to do something magic like that. I've always said about Paul Pogba, the man needs to have license to shoot because he's the best long-range shooter in this team. I don't care about Rashford, I don't care about Bruno. When you're at
Bruno
range,
comes close, but-
yeah, maybe Bruno comes close, but at range, I'm asking Paul Pogba to pull trigger. I'm asking him to pull the trigger.
Agreed.
I think his work rate has been phenomenal. I know, obviously, the agent stuff, the ambitions and everything like that. Like, it's already been said. It's been done. It's been whatever's done is done. But Paul Pogba has said, as long as he's at United, he's gonna give it his all and professional. And I cannot fault Paul Pogba ever since he's come out and said that, because ever since he said that, he has delivered. Paul Pogba has delivered, and I think Paul Pogba, Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, Eric Bailly, Luke Shaw, they are vital, Fred. They are vital performers for this Manchester United team if we were to do something absolutely ridiculous this season. And I think when it's been very, very tight and Bruno isn't, that level Bruno's on, that ridiculous best player in the world level. Paul Pogba has been there. He's pulled out 2 worldies to put us top of the log. And that goal today, you could have scored that one goal we considered could be an own goal. But if you scored that goal to win us the game, it was never going to change my rating. That goal alone deserves a 10 and my man of the match without a shadow of a doubt.
I'm sorry, you're definitely not getting agreements there. That's all I'm going to say immediately.
Paul Pogba, wow, take a bow, son. Take a bow. That is amazing. That was absolutely amazing. With your weak foot? No, taking the piss. Yeah, taking the piss.
Dude, like, I feel like this guy's been the main man for the past few games. Clay, I know you don't like him, but Bruno has been off, and this guy has taken the mantle. And I don't know, I feel like maybe Bruno, he's been inspired by Bruno because he's always been like
It's an
a
ego
really
thing
good
as
player
well.
in this team.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by bad players, so the club is not really backing me. And then you saw Bruno come in and say, "There's crap players around here, but then I'm going to carry this team. I'm going to set the example, and then hopefully they can pick up their game." Maybe maybe that's the more professional. Maybe that's the better way to go about it. And I think over the last few, we've been seeing that. You said work rate there. I think his work rate has improved a lot. Like his defensive shift nowadays is really good, and it's something he's been criticized for. I've criticized him a lot for that thing he does, shield the ball. But then before, he'd lose it, turnover, and the other team scores. And it was a consistent theme, and I just hate it.
Yeah.
Nowadays, he does that very well, and it's an asset because we get to hold on to the ball longer, and we don't lose the ball easily in deep positions. His tackling was great today. His tackling has improved out of nowhere. It was a bit poor for the longest time. Now it seems to be a bit more consistent. And as much as he wasn't consistently getting into those Bruno positions, because it's not really his position, I think he was making some really good offensive passes from deep. And I think that goal, not many people can score from that angle and just make him look
There's not many people I bet on scoring that chance. There's not. I tell you what, I can't. Maybe a Ronaldo. No, I don't think Messi. Messi's not really that type of player. But there's the
I wouldn't
Pogba
even back
finish.
De Bruyne, to be honest. De Bruyne is good shooting from range, but that one, this is something Paul Pogba can do. That's just Paul Pogba's thing.
Yeah, just the
He's a
thing.
talented player.
It's a thing that Paul Pogba does, and you're like, wow, that's a Paul Pogba thing.
Yeah. And I agree, you should score with more of these goals. Like, the technique is brilliant. He's brilliant at long range shots, so we should be giving him more of the opportunity. So, I'm not going to say 10, but I'm going to get very close. I'm going to give him a 9. My man of the match has him.
Yeah, but you haven't given your man of the match. Right? I'm instantly thinking this is your man of the match today.
Oh, no. Never. I just forgot to give it to Bruno. It's obviously Bruno. Yeah. Bruno was the man of the match. There's no question about that. Yeah.
Come on, man.
I genuinely think Paul Pogba had a poor performance today. I did not like his work rate. I thought he defensively left a lot to be desired. Offensively, I felt he contributed next to nothing. And then he just scored a wonder goal out of nowhere. He was getting a 5 before that goal, so he gets a +2 for a good goal. They want us to get.
I respect
get
it,
the
bro.
7.
I respect it. I respect it, bro. I respect it. The 7. I respect it. At least you're not violating. I respect it. Just, like I was expecting like a 3. I was like, nah. That goal doesn't deserve a 3. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. That I can live with that. I can definitely live with that. Well, to be honest, gentlemen, I think Paul Pogba, we have been very consistent together. I think there hasn't been really that much complaints. So, yeah. However, this one here, this one, you need to bring out your calculators. You know, you need to do your simultaneous equations, your quadratic equations, all those things. Because this guy, who knows? This guy. What are we saying, boys? What are we saying?
No, he's just sitting on the top of the table, no big, you know.
He's the only manager who I know can sit at the top of the table and can still pull out the 5 out of nowhere. So who wants to go first?
Yeah, that's both Ola's fault, and the fact that us as United fans just have ridiculous expectations. Like, we're mad. We're absolutely crazy.
Okay, so what's your rating then? I want to hear this. Since you're taking a sensible approach here, what is your rate?
Come on, boy. You know how to do it. 10 starts with the 10. Can only go down.
Yeah, start with the 10. I thought we played well today, you know. As much as we went down 1-0, we had no problems. We looked like a team that knew what they were doing. We played a very entertaining and progressive style. I like when you do that. And yeah, I think we moved the ball decently. I'm not going to blame him too much for us not taking maybe enough of our chances and scoring more, because I think we've been scoring a decent amount this season. It's just one of those games. And overall, I didn't see anything wrong. Even when we set back, nowadays we look very organized. And like it looks like we know what we're doing in pretty much every department now. So I think Ole had a really good game, but he didn't play Donny again. So he loses a point and he gets 9.
9?
I did not.
9 out of 10.
Okay.
9?
Okay.
We are definitely not
what
agreeing
did
on
you
this
wrong?
one. We'll get there.
What did you do wrong?
Clay?
Just bring out the sheets.
The mathematical sheet?
Oh my god.
Okay, personally, I still think we shouldn't have played Martial. I don't think Bruno should have started. I don't think Shaw should have started. I think those are very risky players. Maguire nearly got a red card today. Well, nearly got his 1-match suspension throughout, so he nearly got another yellow. That was a very, very close challenge to being a yellow. I think that was a risk not worth taking. We have just everything on the bench, especially against the fast, quick countering side. Tonzebe, Bailly, I don't see why you don't play fast centre-backs against fast strikers and wingers. That doesn't make logical sense to me. I don't think Maguire contributed enough to this team to go, we should have played him, despite him being a yellow card away and nearly got that yellow card today. Like, that is not a risk worth taking. Same goes for Bruno. I wouldn't risk his yellow card, and I do think he needs a break. As much as a good performance he had today, I think Donny could have put in a shift just as well. Even if we're looking at Lingard, I would have seen a Duracell Bunny at least, you know? That's the thing. I don't want us to burn out our players like we are. Martial shouldn't have played. He was an injury risk. He got taken off because of an injury risk, and he plays ahead of Rashford, who wasn't an injury risk. I don't understand that as well. And he had another poor game. It wasn't his game in the slightest. And he still didn't look 100%. His communication's not good with Shaw just yet. I don't know what we're doing with that. Luke Shaw, he's always an injury risk. He's a walking injury list. This man's waiting to get injured and be sidelined for 3 weeks. And we're going to be so vulnerable without him. If you're not going to play Tellers against Fulham, when are you going to play him? Just team selection off the bat, we can just -1. Just team selection. That's an in-depth team selection, everything. That was wrong with that. I can take a -1. So it goes to a 9. I think we didn't play the best football. It felt like we always feel very uncomfortable being on the front foot. I don't think we've ever looked like we're comfortable owning the ball. I feel like we want to pass side to side, and there's not much activity going into that box. There's not enough drive saying, I've got the ball, I want to play a 1-2 with you, I'm going to drive into the box with Martial and Fred, you know, just something like that. You're not going to see a link-up play between those two. You're not going to see Bruno diving forward past Cavani anymore. I don't know why this isn't happening anymore, because they're lethal in that spot. Our 1-2s carried us last season, to an extent. The interplay between a Rashford, a Martial, and a Greenwood were vital. Those 1-2s. And I'm not going to lie, we've been lucky. Both those goals were exceptionally lucky. Even the goal that we conceded could even be considered lucky, in my opinion, as well. That was just a little bit lapse in concentration from a defender. It happens. That gives away a goal. But our goals are very, very lucky. You have to admit that. I don't think we troubled the keeper every now and then, but they were only long shots from Bruno, basically. That was the only time we troubled the keeper, and then the header straight at him from Martial. That was it. I don't think we did enough to attack properly against a side that's in a relegation battle. So I just think our tactic was wrong for the day. I don't think we played it well enough. I think we've got a lot of work to do in that department, and I don't know why he wants to tinker with everything so often. Because he knows we're going to be on the front foot. This is a team that wants to counter. We're the bigger team here. We're going to control the ball, and we're going to play those 1-2s. We're going to be opening spaces, pulling out defenders, opening space for underlaps and overlaps. That should be our main focus. I didn't see any of that. Whenever I saw Aaron or Luke Shaw pass the wingers on each side, I never saw them get passed to. Never. I always saw them retreat. Always. And then even then, they weren't even considered an option. So I don't know what he's doing with his overall tactic. It's still getting us goals because someone is whipping a ball in, and then the keeper fumbled it. That got us our goal. A really class keeper fumbling a ball. He hasn't made a mistake this season, and we got lucky, to put it blunt. And Paul Pogba scoring from that bloody angle.
No.
I'm sorry, guys. I know it's a dream that we have to believe here that Paul Pogba is the chosen one and he's going to lead us to a trophy, but he can't do that week in, week out. Yeah. He's trying to. You can clearly see he's trying to, but it's not something we can rely on. I don't know why we have to be in a position where it's the 70th plus minute and it's 1-1 against Fulham and we can't get a shot on target. So it takes Paul Pogba shooting from the corner flag and just hitting the top bins, you know? I don't think that's a tactic that we should work into this. But at the end of the day, we still did walk away with the result. We did walk away with the win. His team selection did perform to an extent. I still think it was risky. So that's just going to be a 9 or -1. So it's just going to end on a 7.
A 7. So average, that's it, fine.
Yeah, 1 above average. A little bit above average.
Wow, round of applause.
I still think that's giving a lot of credit.
Yeah, I think round of applause for Clayton. I think you smashed everything I was about to say. Nail on the head. I don't agree with the team selection today. I don't agree with not playing Donny van der Beek. I don't agree with risking Maguire, Telles. Well, actually, fuck Maguire. You can risk him all you want. But yeah. Luke Shaw, Bruno, no. Martial, no. Rashford, no. I don't agree with all of that. I don't agree with the way we play, and you make United fans' hearts freaking on the edge. You want to give us a heart attack every time. I do agree with the amount of luck that Oli and United have in general. You make your own luck, but the amount of luck we have is ridiculous. And I do think I don't want to sound like I hate Oli, but relying on Bruno, Pogba, Rashford to do ridiculous things week in, week out is what it honestly feels like we're doing. It's almost like that is the tactic. Try, force the issue, pull out the, Bruno shoot from wherever you want, cross from wherever you want, make something happen, like, out of nowhere. I don't agree with it. This is Fulham. They were in relegation battle. We are on top of the league. And, some would say these are the games that make you champions. And I do agree. That's why the whole reason we are number 1 in the league is because we have results like this, where it's the result of a champion, where you win the game and you still don't play well. Now, obviously, as a United fan, we have high expectations. We don't want to just have these games. I can accept a few of them during the season, like Liverpool last season. There was actually quite a few. I'd say at least maybe 10 out of 38 games were like that. So it's like, how the hell did they win that game? But for United, it just feels like every single game, how do you win? How do you win? Pogba, Screamer, Bruno, masterclass, Rashford, masterclass, last minute this, last minute that. So I do agree. And to be honest with you, the Donny thing pissed me off. So that was a -3 off the bat. -3. Then you get -1 because I think the way you approach it, your team selection and just the general result in Edinburgh. And I think as a United manager, it's an average result because that's the expectations at United. So 6 for me.
Yeah, imagine. I disagree a lot. I won't lie to you guys. I think that the team selection is defendable because of how Fulham played today. Because if Tellers played today, defensively would have been an issue. And I think
But
Lookman
then was Maguire
would
playing? Like I said, Zebic should
have
have played
taken
against
advantage of
Maguire.
that. I know I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Maguire, aerially, was very important today. There was a lot of balls won in the air, which I feel like the way they played in the first half, they could have gotten more goals if maybe Maguire or Shaw didn't play. I think Bruno assisted one of the goals, or one of the two goals. He assisted. If Donny played, I don't know if it would have been the
Okay,
same,
sorry, just
honestly.
to slowly interrupt, I want to just bring to the attention that Maguire lost more aerial duels than he won.
Okay, sorry, it didn't seem that way, honestly. It seemed like he won
I'm
quite a
just
few
looking
more.
into this just because I'm curious now. I just want to add that into you. But yeah, I get your
Okay.
point, though. I definitely do get it.
And on top of that, as much as Martial didn't play well, you can't predict that. You can't predict that he's not going to play well. And in the sense that Fulham didn't play well, I just don't know. Played well, I mean. I just don't know if Dan James would have been the right pick. So overall, I just think it was too important a game. It honestly was. And I said before, I said in the preview, I don't want to rest.
Yeah.
I just think this game was too important, and we had to win it. And on top of that, because of the way we play, because we don't have a defined system that's relentless offensively, we're gonna have to play the bigger players more often. We can't play
Okay,
the
but
French
you just
players
said we don't
and
have
still
a
be relentless.
system. We don't. You just said we don't have a system right there.
No. I said we don't have I forgot the word I used, but a system that's
Fine.
consistent and relentless. Yeah, a defined system,
It's been
which is
2.5
offensively.
years at this point, has it not?
No, listen, I'm not done. I'm not done. One that's consistent and relentless offensively. We don't have that. We're not Klopp. We're coached by Klopp. We're not coached by Bielsa. We're not coached by Pep. We're
Mm-hmm.
coached by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And he has a system. It not might be the system you guys want, but he has a system. And it does not mean that system can't work. We've seen Jose Mourinho, top manager, use a similar system and it worked a lot of the time. Like we, yes, don't create a ridiculous amount of chances, but we create enough. You know, there's been many managers who play a system like this where they don't create a relentless amount of chances because they don't play maybe a possession-based game or play a game that relies so much on offensive play. It happens. I think Simeone is a bit similar to that as well. But you don't need a ridiculous amount of chances to be a good team. There's a lot of teams like this. And we prefer to play the low block. Going forward, I don't want that because I don't want that for Manchester United. But I do realize that we do have weaknesses defensively. We do have weaknesses maybe in the defensive part of the midfield. And we might need to play the low block to win the league. It's something we need to do right now. It's something we need to do to be relevant. Because I feel like if we go all out and if we're not ready, maybe there is a manager with the squad who will say it's enough. But I'm not completely sold that we're ready to go all out every game. Maybe if we do that, it might be a risk. We saw Arsenal do it for many years. Yes, that inferior players, I admit that. But we saw Arsenal do it for many years with Wenger, and they'll just get battered every week because they were insisting on playing a style that they were not ready for. They just didn't have the players to do that yet. So for me, I think Ole has been doing the best he can do. And I think I'm going to excuse him because it's his system. Not every manager has to play like Bielsa. There are different systems in football. So I think Ole rightfully deserves that man, honestly.
For me, it's just to put it as simple as I can. If you are Manchester United and you are playing Fulham and you only win 2-1, it's like on paper, it's like nah, for perfect result.
Happens a lot of times, though.
It'd be like 3-0.
That's
That's a perfect result. A 3-0,
We've
everyone
never
played
lost
well.
to Fulham before, boys. Just remember that we've never lost to them, and they made us work for 90 minutes.
Everyone makes us work, to be fair. It's just like, it's never easy.
Yeah,
to
we're
do.
just that
It's
type
never
of
easy
team,
to do.
though. We're just that type
But
of team.
do I blame Oli?
It's not the.
No, I don't.
not-
I'm just saying.
I think the
I
key
still-
part is
shit.
it's not that we don't have a system. We just don't have maybe the system that's maybe fashionable right now, and that maybe you guys want. But we do have a system, and over the last few months, it's been working.
Yeah, but again, how much of that can you attribute to pure, this is our tactic, we're going to do this, versus luck? How much can you genuinely say Ollie is going out there week in, week out and saying, Paul Pogba, I need you right now, I need you to take a shot, hit it. Because that's happened 2 out of 4 of these weeks, past weeks, just these past weeks. Pogba scored 2 worldies.
2 worldies to
to
put
win
us
us.
top of
He got a very, very soft pen for us to win us a game as well. And he's also committed numerous fouls that would have cost us the game in other scenarios.
Yeah, but we genuinely don't. We create a lot of drama. That's just how it is. And like Pogba will score goalies. I mean, that's what he's good at. You know, he's not the type
Yeah,
of person who's going to be in the box and score those type of Pogba will score goalies. And for me, in my opinion, the fact that we've been doing it for so long is justifiable enough that Ole has a hand in this. That it is down to tactics as well and not just luck. Because there's no way you can be where we are because of luck. We basically won 19 games played. We won it if you want to count it like that. I don't think that's possible with luck.
I agree with both points because you can't.
Mm.
It'll be impossible to say Ollie's got no tactics and we have just because of luck.
yes.
But I think it's a balance of both. I think you will be also naive if you think Ollie is tactically put us at number one. We are lucky.
How many shots do we have today?
Lucky. A lot, probably a lot.
15.
How many on target?
We had 5 on target.
I think that's a significant improvement from what.
No,
And
but you're
I
not
think
getting the
if-
point.
okay.
The point is, at the end of the day, there's been lots of results this season. And we're not saying Ollie is not tactics and not Ollie is no reason that we are here. We are saying, but if you look at the Brighton games, if you look at today's game, the Pogba, the first time he had to score a goal, he put us top of the league. It's you'd be crazy to say we're not a bit lucky. Rashford against Wolves, the most ridiculous goal I've seen out of nowhere.
Yeah, but as you said yourself, teams that win the league do need luck. It happens
No, yeah,
every
it
season.
it's for me. For me,
It's the
it's
reliance
just
on
it's just the reliance on it is too much for me. It's too much.
Yeah.
We are gonna get punished sooner or later, and that's why I still think we won't win the league.
I don't know. I feel like Mourinho has done this so many times, and
I don't
because
think this
Jose
is how
Mourinho,
Mourinho
it
plays.
wasn't
I can
painful.
say this. This is not how Mourinho plays football. This is a very different
I
style.
disagree.
Ollie's
We are
caught
parking
between
the
two
bus.
minds. He's
Yeah, we're not
completely
parking the bus.
caught between two minds. We're not parking the bus. We're not pressing fully. We're not attacking fully. We're not doing tiki taka. We're doing a mixture of all of those styles together, and it's an amalgamation that just somehow works every now and then.
Well, to be
I don't
fair,
know.
it's been
I feel
working
like
a lot.
Yeah,
I feel
right
like
now
we
it's
play
working out.
we play a low block and counter a lot.
I don't
Spurs
think
play a
so.
low block
We
and
play a
counter
very
lot.
inefficient
We
low
do
block.
very
Burnley play a low block. Have you seen Burnley defend?
What?
That is a
Did you
low
not see
block.
us
Today
against-
we didn't play a low block.
Did you not see us?
Today I think Ollie's got
Today we
two
didn't.
things. He's against the weak teams.
Agree with that.
He's trying to develop something. I can clearly see he's trying to develop something. Against the top teams, it's definitely we know what our tactic is now with the top teams.
Yes.
Park it, then counter.
But
But
I-
against the top teams, like
I
I mean,
think it's
the
in
lesser
the-
teams like this, it's like it's in between. I agree with Clay. It's
I
in
think it's
between
with
and the
Joseph.
top teams.
I won't lie to you because I think we do play low block. Not all the time, obviously, but I do think we do play low block a lot of the time, and we counter efficiently, and that's what Mourinho's always done. And in some games, we'll open up a bit more. The difference between us and Mourinho, I think Mourinho, even when he opens up, he'll still have a level of the low block. When we open up, we have games where we just completely abandon the low block. So I think that's the only difference. But in terms of how we move the ball, I think we're very similar to Mourinho teams because we're not very good at holding the ball and being very creative and breaking down low blocks. I think in that sense, there's a lot of similarities in terms of Spurs and Mourinho's Manchester United. So I think they're not exactly the same, but they're very similar.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think I always have my critics for Ollie. In fact, if it was still up to me, as crazy as you guys might sound, if it was up to me, tomorrow Ollie's gone. Tomorrow he's gone. Still up to me, he's gone. But yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like the top of the table, we might win the league.
That's the thing, though. Yeah, we might.
just think.
But best believe, I will definitely give Ollie the credit where it's due if we win the league. But I'm telling you now, this is a spoiler. If we do win the league, which I don't think we will, you best believe I'm gonna be living up Pogba, Bruno's, Rashford's, Fred's, all of their asses. Because I'm telling you now, without Rashford, Bruno, and Pogba doing their madness, it's over for us.
Mhm.
And I'll look back at the day, and on the paper it'll never matter. But I'll always look back and I'll be like, you know what? Bruno in games won it himself. Pogba in games won it himself. Rashford in games won it himself. It was never like, wow, amazing. The last game I actually thought it was amazing. It was Leipzig. That was the first time, and probably the last time I thought.
The only
everything was
time I've
amazing.
ever thought Ollie pulled
And
out
Villa,
10 out
and
of 10
Villa.
was PSG game.
I
The
feel
PSG game was perfect.
There are managers like that. There are managers who rely more on how good the players are than the system itself. And it doesn't mean they can't be consistent. They can still be consistent. Yes, it might be a problem when players get injured, but I guess that's why it's important to have a good squad, and have a big squad. And you could say the same about Real Madrid. As we can see, they've lost Ronaldo now, and it fell apart. They just didn't have those players anymore that made it happen. But doesn't mean they weren't consistent. They were consistent enough to win 3 Champions Leagues in a row.
No, yeah, I agree. I think you can't say Ollie's got no tactics, and I think you can't say that Ollie's got 0% to do with what we are. Definitely. I'd probably, if I had to put 70, I would probably put 70% players, 30% on. That's just me personally.
Yeah. And especially a game like tonight against Fulham, I don't think we need to give him the most credit in the world,
Same.
I think
like you should be able to beat Fulham 2-1 with our worst team.
Yeah.
You should. With our youth team should be able to beat Fulham.
On top of that, moving away from the tactics, Ola deserves credit as well because he seems to know how to get the best out of players. He just understands his players, and they just have a really good relationship. That when
they definitely love him. The players definitely love him.
He seems to be able to, he knows how to pick them up really well, and we have to credit that for him as well.
The one thing I will give 100% credit to Ollie is that our owners, the Glazers, we haven't spoken about them for long. They left this man out to dry. And the way I'm giving Ollie 100% credit is, if you told me Ollie was going to do what he's doing now, after the summer window we had, I would have called you a liar. I would be like, even if you, so
exactly
100% Ollie, I give you credit for that. That is ridiculous. That is special. That takes you've done more than what I would possibly think Poch could have done with this United team. At the moment.
So I think was it Tim Shaw was saying the same thing. We were in second when he said it. He was saying, we've talked about tactics, talked about this. He was saying himself, calling out himself and saying, I've talked about this, I've criticized Ollie, but who could have done more? In terms of the league position, who could have done more? And that was when we went second, first, and I think we probably won't win this title, to be honest. But I think we're in this race. And
no, we're definitely in the race. We're top of the log. We've been top of the log for long now. Yeah, it's been like 2 weeks we've been top of the log, so yeah. Life is good. And like I said, Ollie, by all means, we win the fucking league, bro. Fuck. That would be some match reaction that day. Yeah. Bring out the champagne, freaking crying on live, freaking the video, everything. But yeah, anyways, boys, it's been a long show. I think though, even though it's a long show, it was very good. It was a very good show. I think we just the content, the quality of content was amazing today. So big up yourselves, big up the viewers. If you are new, subscribe. The next show is actually a Liverpool match preview, and that's
again
on Friday. Yeah, again against the FA Cup.
We must take the piss. Dan James.
Yeah, you now watch Ollie. You see, Ollie didn't do what we wanted to do today. Now Ollie's not going to do what you want to do against us. Watch. But yeah, anyways,
he's going to play the first team against Fulham, against Liverpool, and against Sheffield.
Yep. And then Bruno's injured, Pogba's injured, and then I'm gonna cry, and we're gonna be fifth. I'm like, I told you, I fucking told you, I told you all. You wanna listen? But prove me wrong. But anyways, it's been a good show. Subscribe if you're new. Smash a like. Comment down below what you guys thought. Who's your man of the match? Yeah, I'm expecting to see lots of Pogbas. I know the viewers. I know quite a few of the hardcore viewers of our channel are die-hard Pogba fans. So we'll check you in the next one, boys.